Welcome into the Dice Dragons Guild. In this hall, we unite under one banner. They can't see you.
Not yet. It's not to live
No.
by the die.
Live by the die.
Die by the die.
Whopping single digit. We'll take it.
That's a 4.
That's a 7.
Ooh.
14.
14? 10. All right.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's
Got
three.
another
That's
one.
3. Oh no. Oh no.
Welcome in, everyone. We have some great news. We have breached 1,000 on our YouTube subscribers, which puts us that much closer to just becoming a partner on YouTube. So thank you to everybody. Thanks to all the new subscribers. And now we're just trying to hit that 3,000 watch hours, and we'll be on our way to the first one, and then 4,000 watch hours for the second level. So please share with your friends. I think I didn't actually look. So my little thing underneath me is going to be completely out of date. But I think we're at over 1,070 something. So
let's try and look it up right now.
Yeah.
Why
so
are we coming up?
Thank you so much, everyone.
We're not the
Thank
Deuce
you.
Dragons Guild.
The Deuce Dragons.
Opportunity missed.
Yeah. But we made it.
1.07 thousand subscribers.
1,070.
If that's what the 0 point
Yes.
is.
Or well, there's probably hopefully another number.
It hasn't moved.
Yeah, I can get
So
it
I
on the
don't know if it
analytics.
gets- yeah.
So we're
Once you hit that 1,000, they
Yeah,
only tell
just
you.
like
Yeah,
that
like
1K.
right before we're like, oh, it ticked up by
We
1.
have a K
We're
after
in the-
I know,
we're in the
it's
1K
weird.
club.
Letters.
So we're very excited, as you can see, and we are very appreciative. So we're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing. We did have actually, I'll go into that after. Twitch, if you're watching on Twitch, you can use your channel points to give people boons and auto successes and things like that. Some of it is just for me, so you can check that out. There's a card underneath me.
Every week I'm like, no.
Patreon, we do have a Patreon. We are looking to get to 50 patrons. That is free patrons, or if you'd like to support us, we'll definitely take your support. But just subscribing to our Patreon is support. So we're throwing that out there. Patreon does have the option to become a free patron, and you'll get access to some of our public posts and just support us in that way. So check that out. If you would like to become an actual tiered patron, we do have thank you gifts that we also send. D20 capture keychains, dice trays, which I can actually show mine, that I had made by Almost Critical. It is double-sided, so I can switch it up depending on which one I'd like. They have their little logo at the front there. And then also, we now have Dice Dragons Guild dice with our Dragon Monty's head on it. So those go to 12-month Hallmaster patrons. So, please support. Merch, you can go to tinyurl.com/DDG merch. We have added a whole bunch of things. I am not wearing one today, but it's because it's in the wash. But
I
we
wore
do
mine
have,
yesterday.
and we have some on the way. One item arrived already.
I wish my dad saw my shirt and he was like, "That's really cool. What do you get?" So I went to the whole thing. I explained everything, and he was like, "You guys have merch?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we went through the merch store, and he's picked out 2 shirts.
Oh, nice.
And he was like, "I'm gonna." I was like, "All right, cool."
Thanks, Dad.
We love you, Paul.
I just imagine this like almost 70-year-old guy walking around with a D&D shirt.
I love it, though.
No,
I
that's
love that
awesome.
vibe.
Has no clue, but he's just so willing to support.
We love it.
We love you.
We appreciate it.
I can't even get my mother to watch on YouTube.
Nope.
My
I
dad
don't know
barely
that.
knows what YouTube
Yeah.
is, but he's still like, "Boy, I want to wear your stuff."
That's so sweet.
And then finally, we did go to Captain Con in Warwick, Rhode Island. Still can't say it. This past weekend, actually yesterday already, had a great panel. We talked to a room full of folks about streaming and converting from, your home game into a streamed game, whether it's VODs or podcast or live streaming. It went really well. We had a lot of fun.
People were engaged and interested.
Thank you to those who came and sat and asked questions and were engaged. And
I hope you're watching now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
hopefully, and we may
It's
see
gonna
you
be
again.
one guy who's like,
We appreciate it, and we are going to try to plan to do some more of that. So thank you. It was a success, which then made us want to do more of it, which is always a good thing. So appreciate that. And then finally, actually I have two things I forgot. So Cat, our lovely cheese cat, sent us gifts for Goblin Week, which was in January. But before I get to those, I am going to go ahead and find a little something that I forgot to do. That's my fault.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to turn off the music that I have. And originally, when we were going to run the Deadly Fedora, it was actually supposed to be on somebody's birthday. So Kat had sent happy birthday wishes, and I'm going to play it right now.
Aww.
Because of course. It's very quick, but it totally flew out of my mind after it took so many weeks for us to actually get together. So let me just...
I made this be the best.
Ooh, she said may it be the best ever. But it keeps cutting it off.
Happy you got born. I made this be the best.
But it
should-
doesn't
Thank you, Cat.
That has to be one of your text tones now.
That's
Like whenever you have a Discord
it,
alert,
yes.
every single time, that's what it has to do.
No, anytime it's somebody's birthday, that needs to be just played. Happy birthday.
Glad you're born.
We are all glad you were born.
Because we were just talking about the birthday song had
Yeah,
our
cut off.
audio cut off, so that's the new birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Royalty free. Thanks, Kat.
Thanks, Kat.
And then in addition to that, it was Happy Goblin Week to her favorite mass holes, and she sent us all shiny rocks. So first we have a big black rock for Adam. It is called a dragon's egg rock. One side is shiny like little glimmers.
Oh, look at that. That's so cool.
I
Catches in the light.
think this one is supposed to be for me, and actually we have an in-house gem person who knows
I'm gonna
things.
pass it around so people can see.
She says, pink rock is for Izzy. I forget if it's a rose quartz or just a rosy moonstone, but it is beautiful, so thank you. The next one is a brown-gray rock. Pretty sure this is moss agate, but can't remember. LOL.
Yep.
There you go. This one is for Pat.
That's for you. That
The
is
yellowish
moss
rock is for Cuba. This I do remember, she says. It is a moonstone.
Ooh.
Amanda is not here, but she has a white moonstone waiting for her
Beautiful.
when she arrives.
Very cool.
And then for Julie, we have a polished
agate.
amethyst
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Kat. That's beautiful.
and a raw amethyst for the tavern, which is also awesome.
Ooh.
That is beautiful, too.
So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kat.
Thanks,
We
Kat. These are
appreciate
really
it.
Thank you,
Cool.
Cat.
Thank you.
put
And she
this
drew a
right here.
picture of a goblin wearing a cat mask.
Oh, I love
For
it.
Goblin Week. So, thank you so much,
Cat always
Kat.
has the
Thank
best
you, Kat.
gifts.
Yes, she does. Always thinking of us. So yeah. It's going to be a shorter session tonight, but still looking forward to it.
Put the rock down. I'm like staring at it.
And without further ado, let's begin. Instinct kicks in immediately, and you all pull yourselves away from the edge of Lolaya Pond as the long, sinewy tendrils that had shot out of the sickly green water wrap themselves around the broken, and in some cases dismembered, bodies of the putrid bullywugs that had attacked you and lost. With whip-like speed, the inky black stretches of tendon-like material shot back into the water with their gory prizes. The corrupted lake became almost instantly still. More like how a jelly settles. No ripples, as one would expect. You stand there in momentary silence after having just succeeded in a fight for your lives against these croaking entities. Your day began in Beechmere to the south, brought you through the city of Mosswick, then up the north road from the Night's Walk towards the opulent community of Echo Haven. Along the road, you conversed with a family from the villas who were making their way back to the safety behind the city walls. They informed you that only one family was still holding out in Echo Haven, the Duskridges, and that Cheesecat, the fey frog folk that you were trying to find, lived on the eastern side of Lolia Pond. Upon arrival at the lake, you immediately became aware of the corruption that had overwhelmed it. A green tinge to the water, a faint, misty, discolored haze that sat atop it, and a rotten smell that lingered in the air around it. Though it did appear that it still held life, or at least some kind of movement. Heading to the east, you came across a kind of grove of giant mushrooms, an obvious place for a fae to take residence. Upon discovering the entrance to Cheesecat's home, you found yourselves walking into a disheartening scene. Cheesecat was nowhere to be found, and their cozy haven had been completely tossed. Your own search revealed blood from 2 different sources, footprints from a humanoid, and nothing in the way of hidey holes or secret rooms. It appears that Cheesecat was attacked and either abducted or escaped. Eldon and Theratrix put their rangering to good use and identified the direction of the humanoid shoe prints back to the west. And so west you traveled. But the inhabitants of the lake could just not let you go unimpeded. Although you prevailed, we rejoin you as you stand, bodies shaking from the adrenaline rush on the side of Lolia Pond. The suns are beginning to make their descent to the west. But you stand there.
We should not get close to the water again.
Agreed.
Yes, let's keep some distance.
And the suns are going down. And you do not think it is best to be caught out here at night.
No.
No. Could you just turn off that space heater? Because I can hear it's like rattling. Thank you.
Yield
If you just
space
like
heater.
press the button and then press it again, it should give a 15-second countdown.
Turn off that fireball
There you go.
machine.
It's like rattling and I can hear it. And it's
Have we
triggering
lost
my-
a trail of footprints? Or any kind of trail, broken twigs, maybe matted grass from footsteps?
I think we lost that trail a while ago. I think we were just making our way to the actual rich people's
that where we
houses.
were at?
Yeah, I
If I-
believe that you ended up finding that there were a couple of footprints, like more than.
I now remember on the map. We
Yeah,
were walking
and
back
then
to
you're
the road.
Yep, you're headed back to the
Okay.
road.
Those things, they seemed different from the other aberrations.
Am I aware of frog people living in this pond before things went bad?
No, not that you were aware of. In fact, the only thing that you had ever heard about Lolia Pond was that there was a dryad, a water dryad that actually lived in the pond, according to myth and legend, that protected everything, and you could like go fishing there, but only with her permission, kind of thing. Mostly people didn't do a lot of fishing at this pond, but that was more of what you had heard. She like protected the inhabitants of the pond as far as you were aware.
If rumor is to be believed, once a dryad protected this pond. Perhaps it got corrupted or whatever this is.
I do agree, though. It didn't quite seem the same as those other aberrations.
No, the other aberrations were like strange hybrids. These still resembled a humanoid bullywog.
But there are no bullywogs here to begin with.
Well, regardless, he seemed different.
I do not know where they came from. Perhaps they just recently got infected.
I didn't see any tendrils. Everything else is tendrils missing of flesh.
Didn't some of the things on them pop and
They
tendrils
had
come out?
acid, like boil
was it acid?
pops.
Oh.
They were like boils
There were tentacles that came out from the
Okay,
boils.
from the water.
no, from the water or from their bodies?
From
when
their
they're-
bodies.
Okay, that's
But they weren't like octopi, squid ones. though,
They
right?
were, yeah, no, they were like tendril type things.
Right, but they weren't quite
still.
the same as the other things we've seen before, like the big boar things.
They were not like the boars. They were unlike anything that you have seen. The only reason why I didn't have you roll for like to hold your resolve is because they were enough of like a frog person that you've seen that it didn't mess with your brain. Like you could see it, and just like with the boars where like you saw it and it was upsetting, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I can't move. It was nothing that you've seen on this plane before.
Either way, we should probably keep moving.
Yes.
We don't want to get caught out
Something,
here.
something's off here.
Yeah.
Let's try and get to Echo Haven.
fast.
All right.
Do we want to move with some speed?
He
Aye,
knows we're here.
aye.
It knows what is it?
Whatever.
The pond.
Yes, the pond knows we're here.
Okay.
Mention creep show. Just on it.
All right. So you continue. You are able to kind of break away from the pond if you want, and kind of head more towards the road, or you can stay along the edge of the pond, unless you think that it's. If Echo Haven is your goal, you can break off from the lake and go to the road.
If Eldon's in the lead, which I was before, I would have broken off towards the road. Whether
Okay.
everybody else follows me is up to you.
Yeah, Kethra's not going anywhere near that pond. No.
All right, so you break off from the pond and head into the jungle and start like hacking your way through to get back to the road. Go ahead and make perception checks, everybody.
You want me to roll for Theratrix too, or no?
Yeah.
Should have done this earlier. All discombobulated. 21.
21,
15.
15,
15.
15.
21 for me and a 13 for 14 for Theratrix.
Oh, man,
13, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say if it was a 15, that'd be like a full house.
Maybe Amanda got a 15.
So, you keep an ear out listening for any sounds that might indicate that something more is coming. I'm going to get my jungle sounds going.
Sorry, my chair keeps squeaking. I'm a wicked fidgeter.
Well, if you do it at the right time and something creepy happens, it might actually work into the ambiance.
Well, you know, if Kethra and Kai are in a room.
Yes.
So, keeping an eye out or an ear out or both, you are hacking your way through. Kethra, you hear in your mind a familiar voice of Iolite, who just kind of like takes your hand and pulls you back a little bit to let the others move forward. And in your mind, you hear her voice. She says, "Don't make any like sudden movements, or let anybody know that like I'm chatting with you right now."
You see Kethra go, like, just kind of nod, like, very nonchalantly, like, I gotcha.
She's like kind of squeezing your hand a little bit. I have a little bit of a favor to ask, and I'm gonna be truthful. I haven't been entirely honest with everyone up to this point, but I connected with a childhood friend back in Moswick, and I had kind of promised to meet him tonight, like early in the morning, like 2 a.m. And it seems like we're just not, that's not where we're headed, and I just wanted to ask, would it be possible if Nyx could take this note, and in your hand you feel, it's strange, she says note, but it's like a hard ball with paper wrapped around it. If Nyx would be able to go back to Moswick with my note, and I can tell you where to meet him. It'd be hours from now, but I don't want everybody to know yet. I just want to keep it kind of private for now, until I can tell everybody else a little bit later. And sorry, and I know it's a weird favor to ask, but
I just see Kethra kind of nod, and then she'll say in her head to Iolite, okay.
Thank you.
But she'll also say, if anything happens to Nyx, is your friend safe for Nyx? Is what she'll say. It's like your childhood friend, is he safe for Nyx?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely very safe. He's one of the safest people I know.
Okay. Kethra will pull her bag off and pull Nyx out and whisper in his ear. And she's going to say, I need you to deliver this for Iolite. She's going to tell you where to go. After you're done, you come back to me. Understood? Here. And I'll be like, go ahead. And she'll look at Iolite, go ahead.
She hands over it's clearly a rock that's wrapped in paper with a little string to keep it tight. I can actually show you what he looks like, and she'll take out the locket that shows the face of someone that you're thinking of, and she shows to both of you, a young man, half elven, who has this brown curly hair and brown skin, very cute. Very cute, a little cutie. He'll be waiting on the north end of Bloodrock Square in one of the alleys, maybe the second one from the right when you enter. This is really important. My friend, he has some important information about the shards and what happened the night that I lost everything. So, very safe.
And he has answers about your past you're looking for.
I hope so. I'd planned on meeting him, but what we're doing here is more important than my thing.
I understand. Absolutely. Kethra will take that and tie it around Nick's neck a little bit and go, and let him run off.
Okay.
But you're also going to notice that Kethra's very nervous with Nyx not around.
She just kind of takes her hand and squeezes it.
And
what do we say to the others? Why is Nyx gone? I didn't think that far ahead.
We'll just say he's in the bag.
Okay.
And she'll squeeze her hand back it's okay, I got you.
Where's Nyx? In the back.
He had a rough day. He didn't like that last one. He wasn't a fan of that last
Munching on some
battle.
rolls, some croissants.
Yeah, he's just munching on a baguette. He's having a good time.
Oh, I forgot that's what he likes, baguettes.
Any type of bread. He'll take it.
All right, the baguettes.
All right. She just nods, smile. It's also a nervous smile, probably for different reasons than yours, and then pushes away, nothing to see here. I am going to roll for Iolite just to see, based off of passive perception, if anybody else would have seen that. And I do need to actually look up stats because that was a middle of the road roll. Come on, D&D Beyond. Okay, we got a... So, no. None of you noticed.
We're all just
The only
kinda
ones who
like
would have noticed were
scouring.
engaged in the conversation.
Scouring the tree line.
Yeah, looking back and forth. You... For some reason that stopped. And let's get that rolling on a loop. There we go. Okay. You break out into the road, finally. Just push your way, and there's like, it's again not the most well-traveled road, but it's the road nonetheless. And continue on towards Echo Haven, keeping an ear out. You don't hear anything unusual. But as you follow this winding path along the western side of the pond, or the lake technically, there's this sudden change in the atmosphere. You can't quite put your finger on it, but the air begins to carry this like subtle sense of like wealth, but it has like mixture.
Smell the money.
Yeah, you can smell the money.
Like when you drive through
It
Newport.
smells
I
expensive.
smell money. Yeah.
But it is kind of mingled with just a little tinge of that like sulfur scent from the lake.
The smell of late stage capitalism.
Yes. And as you emerge from all of this lush foliage, you see Echo Haven before you, which, again, Ayla, you are not unfamiliar with this. It's just a collection of very opulent residences. Each is a testament to the unique tastes.
Is he fighting that can over there?
The unique tastes and aspirations of the wealthy inhabitants. There are mansions that rise like vibrant flowers against the backdrop of the pond. There are numerous floors standing tall in a symphony of architectural diversity. Stone walls, painted exteriors in hues that rival the tropical blooms, and intricately designed gates give each house a character of its own. You see palms and exotic flora that are framing all of the different estates. There's adding like a little touch to the luxury that you see, and just like this gentle breeze that is bringing with it that smell that just is very much a stark contrast. You're seeing beauty and then just like this kind of light, not overwhelming, but there.
Can we see the water from where we're at?
You can.
So
Yeah,
the
the
house
lake-
is half like a lake view.
Yes. They're not right on the water, but they are minutes walk to the edge of the pond, of the lake. Called it Lolea Pond. It is not aptly named.
Lolea Lake.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, it's a lake, but they called it a pond for some reason.
For rich people, everything's just
Yeah,
smaller.
there's just, yeah. You see that each of these mansions seems to like compete for attention. They have balconies that offer like sweeping views of this pond or lake and all of these lush gardens. You can see an occasional glimpse of outdoor art installations, fountains. Everyone is trying to one-up the other. But what does stand out is that despite this evident affluence, there's just like a sense of abandonment. It is quiet. Many of the homes are silent and deserted. You don't see lights on. There's just an occasional creaking of a gate and this eerie silence that is settled over.
Rich people don't just leave their stuff. Are there any visible like wards of like protection like on the gates and the doors and stuff of these places?
You know, loot these rich people's houses? Not
could-
judging.
Not saying yes or not saying no. I'm just wondering if we see any ring cameras that are still active.
Wasn't a judgment. Just want to know which direction we were going.
I'm gonna say make a perception check because it's not necessarily, it'd probably be more subtle than a ring camera.
No, that's what I mean, like, if most people who make like a ward of protection, like you have to paint or draw the symbol on like the door or somewhere near you're protecting, and it can be subtle. I feel rich people would not be subtle about their wards. I feel like they'd want the ward to be right there, visible in your face.
Neon sign.
What am I doing? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
That's 12.
I would say that much like the decor of each place is very unique and stylized and different, each house has a different way of protecting. So some of them are going to be more subtle because they don't want you to see what awaits you should you try to break in. Others are going to be more overt in your face, like don't come over here. You don't see any guards per se, but that does not mean that there aren't guards in these houses. It really kind of depends on what each individual family's ultimate goal. Are they going to come back? Have they decided, nope, I'm done, and we're going to sell this place and move on? There's all different MOs, really, for each family, so it's really difficult to tell. But some you do see, yes, this is very well protected. Others, you're going to assume that it is, although I would say you probably see at least like one of the 13 mansions where it looks like it was completely cleaned out. Like you can maybe go in, but nothing's going to be there. It is unlikely that they are going to try to keep their house.
Smithers, release the hounds.
You also, Ayla, are very familiar, not that you've been into each and every one of these homes, but it's kind of like a homeowners association type deal where there is a community area, not necessarily a square per se, but there's definitely like, as you walk by, a little tinge of nostalgia as you look over at they have one of those gazebos, but it's out in the water, kind of like if you picture a Japanese temple that's on the middle of like a lake, so it goes out and then you would do performances there, and it's very beautiful under normal circumstances. And there could be a beauty to it with a little green, but like the smell is what really does it. Like the color is not horrible because past it you can still see all the vibrant colors from the foliage and the flowers, but you wouldn't be able to do a dance with that stank.
It wouldn't go near the fucking water again either.
No, you wouldn't want to go near the water either, yeah.
Do I know where the Boothbys or whatever their name is?
The what?
Duskridges.
Duskridge.
The
Do I know
Boothbys?
which
You
house?
see boobies?
No, the Boothbys.
Oh,
I have no idea where that came from.
yeah. That's why I was so confused.
Either way.
I was like, what?
Do I know where they keep the boobies?
Yes, you do. As you are walking through, you do know where the Duskridge Estate or mansion is. You also see between two... I'll have everybody actually roll another perception check to see who sees it first. As you are actively looking around, I would assume.
5. I rolled a 1. So that was plus my 4, so 5.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
17.
19
say
for
shit.
me and a 15
Sorry.
for Thurtrix.
Okay. It tracks. I mean,
I don't think I saw shit.
Nick is gone. It's almost like you keep kind of like looking back.
A little
You know he's
preoccupied
not
waiting for my
there, but
baby.
and within 100 feet, you lost contact with him. He's doing this thing
It's
now.
100 feet, isn't it?
She's going to be an anxiety-ridden mess, and none of you are going to know why. Yeah.
But you can summon him back, right?
Yes, but there's a little bit of a codependency with Kethra and Nyx. It's mutual.
Yeah.
But we've never really been apart. So
He's a brave boy.
he's a brave boy, but his mommy's not brave.
So, who got the highest? Sorry, that was a 20. Kai, as you're keeping an eye out, looking back and forth from the lake to around, you do see that you see a little glimmer at the base of a tree that is between the wood and stone walls. These aren't even fences. These are walls that are around some of these estates. Like right in the center, a palm tree, and there's a little glimmer of light that like catches through the canopy, but you all would have to get closer to see what it is.
Kyle's give a little walk over and give it a look-see.
Okay. You all slow down as Kai heads over to the tree. As you get closer, you see at the base of this tree, it appears to be the home of a makeshift shrine that as you approach, you figure children probably made. There's all kinds of trinkets. There's like a hole that has been probably naturally occurring in the base of this palm tree. There are stones and gems and coins and like little, like if there was an equivalent to like a plastic ring, like there's things in there, some jewelry. There's a mask that looks like it was handmade of bark. There's just like stuff in there that some of it looks a little bit older than others. So it's almost like putting a story together in your own head, like children just adding things, the community kids coming over and adding to this tree. That's the impression that you get.
And there's no sign of like anything off with it, right? Like
No, just a little shrine, little children's shrine.
I think it's some kind of shrine or offering.
To who and what?
Couldn't say, but looks like it might have been children. Probably a lot of scared people in the first few nights.
Are any of the houses lit? Is there a lit house indicating that the dust bridges are
You are
awake?
you are familiar with where the Duskridge, because from what you recall, as you've gotten closer and just thinking about, it's been a little while since you came to Echo Haven, but you do know that they do have a kind of like condo association style thing going, where like each person had a job in the community, and as you've been thinking about it, you remember Valerio Duskridge. He is like almost a de facto leader. He was like the de facto president of this community, but not in a... He was always very pleasant.
My mind immediately went to like insufferable bastard.
Oh no, he was always very, very pleasant and inclusive and reasonable. Always would greet you and get everything ready. He kind of like kept everything in order, but he was never voted in. They didn't do like any kind of voting or anything. It was just like that. It was just Valerio Duskridge was the one who did it. So
No one tried to impeach him?
nope.
Yes, I'm making my way through Seinfeld.
So you do see this a little bit further down the Duskridge mansion, which is very uniquely decorated on the outside. It's like a wooden and stone wall that surrounds the entire estate, but very like light colored, sandstone kind of colored wall. Inside is wrought iron, as if it was at first a gate, and then they made the wall and had it intertwine a little bit. Like the wrought iron ended up being this beautiful facade on the outside, and then all of these little gems that are encrusted within the stone, in between the kind of crisscross of this design that they have in the wrought iron around the entire perimeter. You can see that there are big mahogany doors, a double door to the entrance. There's multiple floors. There are windows that you can see through even from far away. that show like a ton of light that probably comes into this beautiful residence. You don't see from your distance, because you would have to go through the gates, you don't see from your distance any people necessarily moving through, but you can see the curtains that are like drawn to the sides to let all the light in for the day. But there it is.
How do we want to go about this? Do we think they are the ones that stole this cheese cat? Should we just go up and...
Well, if they're the only people left here, we don't have any reason to suspect them just yet. Perhaps we could maybe get some answers, see if they even know where Cheese Cat might be before we start making accusations.
Well, I'm not accusing anyone of anything just yet.
I meant me.
Ah. No. She straightens up.
Are there any recent...
It is time to be charming.
Are there any... Is it like cobblestone?
Adjusting
or is
the
it...
titties is how you get charming. I love it.
It should be like adjusting
That's
the
a-
booty, because she's got more booty than titty.
But I have to say that's probably kind of like a good way to kind of initiate. That's a good way.
Boosting
Adjusting
girls.
the titties.
Thaumaturgy, push them up.
It brings your confidence up when you bring them up.
It's more like minor illusion.
Push up, bro.
When you said dirt or
Like, are we like on a dirt road, or is it like cobblestone?
it got a little bit better as you came through. Not necessarily cobblestone, but more of like padded down and paved, and or not paved, but paved.
I was just on the one
Hey.
in a million
The
chance that I'd
pioneers.
find a boot print that kind of looked like.
Oh no, you're in a place where now like they've made it so that it's nice and clean for people to kind of walk through. Yeah. You do. All right, Ayla. I'm gonna let everybody. Okay, everyone make a perception check, and then that's gonna determine who's gonna get to make an Arcana check.
Oh, I rolled a 4 and a 5.
16?
God damn.
17.
12.
All right, so Kai and Kethra, you can both make Arcana checks. All right.
Even with my
Oh, you got that one.
+4 for the.
Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna
Perception.
use this because
Okay.
You know what? Good idea.
that's not gonna
All right.
not gonna do us any good.
Oh,
Oh,
worth
there
it.
you go.
Worth it.
Yeah.
24.
24, nat
11.
20. 11. All right, so Kethra, your attention for a moment, again, you just kind of like look back over your shoulder with that first nat 1, and you're like, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. I have to do this now. This is where I am now. And then as you kind of turn, now that you're in this space and really being present, you feel a sense of like a little light hum in the air, especially as you've gotten closer to the Duskridge Estate. And you open the gate, like the wrought iron gates that lead into this beautiful garden that you kind of walk to get to the front door. Once you open the gate and you step in, the humming stops instantly.
Booby trap.
And you, in that moment, realize that you are in an anti-magic field in the moment. So, like,
I was gonna magic them too.
you step in and the humming's gone, but also when you're like, and you like try to do something, nothing. Anything that you have on you that is magical, mundane, you cannot cast magic. Like, but this is just a step in. You've only just like, you notice the change, and naturally it would kind of cause you to just stop for a moment. So.
At first, she'd stop, and then she would actually step back and
No.
go,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Wait.
What is it, Kath?
This is a no magic field. You sure we want to go forward? Sure we want to do this? We can't use any magic to protect ourselves.
Make an intelligence check, Eldon. Theratrix is kind of standing there.
Not just a regular. 8. 8.
Okay.
That was actually going to be my question.
But Theratrix just disappear, passing through the threshold.
We haven't gone yet.
We are not here for combat.
It's
That
not,
we know of.
and it's not unheard of for wealthy people to put some type of protections on their homes. But we should definitely be ready just in case.
Are we?
Iolite looks at all of you. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm not sure what happens to Theratrix if he were to go through.
Maybe-
Dragons are inherently magic beings.
Perhaps maybe he should wait for us here outside.
You okay with that, Theratrix?
He may also frighten them.
It's a fair
Yeah,
point.
Kethra go.
Who's us? I don't want to go in there. Make a persuasion check.
I don't know anything about rich people. I grew up in like a cult, and this not being able to do magic. No, that scares the absolute crap out of me. You know, see Kethra just being like, you see her terrified for the first time.
You can stay out here with Theratrix, I suppose.
But if something comes, this is Iolite. If Iolite says, if something comes out of the jungle, you'll be all by yourself. You'll be all alone. We'll all be inside, and you wouldn't. One of us wouldn't be able to fight off one of those beasts with the skin.
Presumably, if I am correct in my thinking, she can just run through the threshold. Something has got to be protecting them from what is out here. It is quite possibly this. Otherwise, they would have left with everyone else.
You mean, like, if she gets attacked, you can just run in.
Yes.
But that assumes everything we fought has had tentacles. What if you get wrapped up in it? I don't like this.
I mean, I know it puts us at a disadvantage, but numbers, that's our true strength.
You
Rather
do have a
give you-
new knife.
Kethra look at all of you like, one smell of anything I don't like, I'm gone.
It will be quite pleasant smelling in there.
I doubt it. This whole place smells like shit.
Not here, I mean, in these homes. You need to
She's
see
gonna
some
be like,
of these homes.
everything around here smells like shit. Is what she's like. One thing like above the table. The main reason she doesn't want to go through is she's afraid that Nyx won't be able to find her if he comes back.
And
Codependency.
perhaps you should leave Nyx to keep
Nyx is
Thera.
We don't know
We
that.
don't know that. Perhaps you should leave Nyx to keep Theratrix company.
Yeah, I'll leave my bag out here.
Theratrix, with a 12, looks at you and says, "No, I'm going to make the decision to go with you."
That's fine, but I'm not sure what will happen if you walk through. I don't know if it'll... I'm not sure if it'll send you to where you come from.
I'll fly through very quickly, and we'll find out together.
You might want to pick up the bag of Nyx then.
Don't look at me. You gotta look
She's
at
looking at all you guys like
Oh, I thought you were looking at me like I did something. I was like, look at their tricks.
she's going down the line and looking at every single one of you like, I have a bad feeling about this, but all right, let's go.
Theratrix looks at you and says, Don't worry, I will protect you.
Thank you, Tyratrix. But what we've seen is going to take more than just you to protect all of us.
We are all together.
We are. We're stronger together, but something doesn't feel right.
At the first sign of trouble, I'll fill him with arrows.
Lock arms like the Wizard of Oz and just walk through the threshold.
Like you're actually kind
Pat
of
was just like,
dragging
no.
Kethra in through. She's like,
All right, what is the marching order through the gate?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Second.
Iolite would be right there with you.
Oh, no, I'll wait because Theratrix has to go.
most likely would be me and then you pushing me. Kai pushing me in. Because she still doesn't want to go, but she's going to go.
Okay, so you're gonna be you're gonna push in.
Get in there.
Theratrix just kind of like gets up into the air. You all begin walking through the open gate, iron gate, into. There's a beautiful garden in front of you. I went to a garden. It's called Hunt's Garden Hunt's Garden in Barbados, and it was like nothing I've ever seen before. Just this very rich man's garden that everybody can walk through whenever you want. It was unbelievable. But there's just all these beautiful painted leaves and flowers and exotic and magical flowers that are in bloom, like letting off little bits of nice scented air. And as you all pass in, everyone who goes through this threshold, you can feel that buzz that like the rest of you didn't realize it was there. Kethra feels it, but when it's gone, you notice that it was there before. You all kind of step in, and it's only maybe about 5-10 feet-ish, give or take, when the buzz comes back. A couple of things that you notice. Iolite, her expression, she can't hide it because I rolled a 1. You notice that she just kind of like looks down at an angle in the direction of the crack in her neck, shoulder, you can just barely see on her neck. And then she like takes a little bit of a deep breath, and then she just keeps she just looks and smiles at anybody who looks at her and just keeps going. Theratrix gets like a running start and like flies with all of his might, and the moment he hits the threshold, he is gone. His necklace falls to the ground. The collar just rolls out in front of you. You go forward, and the hum comes back. Just that faint little hum. So you get the impression that there is an anti-magic field around the perimeter here that goes away once you enter. As far as how tall it is, unknown, but it's like it seems to almost be like a first level of protection against magic. You can't come through here like attacking them. The moment you come back out, all of your stuff is back. But it would stop a magical creature such as a summoned
I'll protect
dragon
you
from entering their space. It's like a first stop.
Is Nyx okay?
Mm-hmm. You're just gonna,
Well, there you go. See, it is not the entirety of the property.
You can hear, Catherine's gonna go to Iolite. This is frickin' wrong.
And Iolite, back to you. I'm so sorry. But, maybe, at least Nyx is out there, and he's not... She kind of bend down as she's talking to you in your head and pick up Theratrix's gem what is that? Cubic zirconia encrusted collar. And she's gonna... I don't know to hand it to you or you.
I'll take it.
She gives it to Eldon.
I don't know him.
Everybody thinks you do.
I am not a pet person.
Normally I would call Theratrix back immediately, but I think it's probably best if we see what
Well, we're gonna have to leave, so you'd have to summon him again.
I'll call him if we run into some kind of trouble.
Well, Ayla, you have some history with the people here. Perhaps it's best if you knock on the door.
Yes, I was thinking of the very thing. Are we at the door, or are we
You
just?
have to walk through the garden, but it's just one thing that you do notice as well is that that like lingering gross kind of smell is not beyond. The buzz came back, and then it was replaced also by this gentle scent of flowers.
Nice.
It
Doesn't smell like shit.
It doesn't
Nice.
smell like shit. Yeah,
Nice.
It feels a little bit better entering, and like you don't know if it's magical or just that the smell hasn't been able to permeate the anti-magic field from out there. There could be a multitude
Magical
of
stink.
theories. It could be,
A magical stench.
but it smells like natural, clean air in here, and you just kind of head up to the doors. I assume you are knocking.
Unless there's like one of those like big rope doorbells. Ding dong.
You get, like, pulled up because you're so light.
Why not? We'll say you pull on the big rope and you hear this, like, from somewhere deep within the home, a large, deep bell that makes a strange sound.
I wonder if they're gonna have a lurch.
You rang. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh man, you said it like as I was.
And the double doors do open, and standing in front of you, you see a large orc. Hair is tightly braided, this dark hair that's tightly braided into like a ponytail that then like cascades down the back. And wearing a very like
Ill-fitting suit.
formal
Lorch.
Orch.
formal
Lork.
I was gonna say
Lord.
lore and then with the apostrophe.
not like a suit and tie type of thing, but dressed very nicely. It's one of those outfits where this is a large orc. He's got these like a kind of, I'd say like a grayish green tinge to the skin, but then it kind of glows like a light green along his face. Looking at him, he's tall, and you know he's big. He's got one of those bodies that when they're dressed, it's like a little vest or whatever. But like if they were to take their shirt off, you'd be like, holy shit, where were you hiding all of that? Just like
Muscle mass or
Muscle.
like big belly?
Contain
wise?
yourself. Ayla.
no
Contain
muscles.
yourself.
Like, you know how some people that wear clothes and then when they take their shirt off, you're like, what the fuck? Like Lance Reddick was kind of like that, where they'd show him in The Wire, and I'm like,
It's that
where is
hidden.
all
It's
of
that hidden ripped.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. But you can tell with him, he's got hidden ripped. Right next to him, you see a muzzle that kind of comes around the corner as well, and this dark gray dire wolf is standing right beside him. Not growling, just there so you can see him. And the orc...
Now I wish I brought back Theratrix just to see what would happen.
The orc stands there and looks at you. May I help you?
Yes. Greetings. I am Ayla Maria. Is Valdorio? Is that right?
No.
Val.
See, it's raised its eyebrow a little bit.
Villario. Is Villario the master of the house inn?
He is. Do you have an appointment?
I do not, but we are acquainted. Perhaps you could let him know my name.
And your name again?
Is Ayla Maria.
And the rest of your group here?
We are the Woven Fates.
What is your business with the master? So I may adequately inform him.
Well,
Killing monsters.
yes, we are here to help.
Your master is the only one left in Echo Haven.
He is aware.
Can I use a persuasion on this guy?
Sure.
Can I flirt with him or something?
Sure.
Is he a handsome orc?
Sure.
I only ask because I have a +10 in persuasion.
Would it matter if he was a handsome orc?
I mightn't.
Depends on how
Try
much you're gonna
less.
roleplay. Depends on how strong you're gonna roleplay this.
All right, so that's a 29.
Nice.
Please.
No, you said you boosted the girls.
I boosted the girls, but the girls are small.
Did Kira say? It doesn't need to be mountains or something like that. Did Kira say that? So I think you're good. Not to be confused with mountains. Sorry.
You do the gentle, just that gentle touch, and he looks at your hand as you touch. There's no real expression change on his face, but
And
he
let's
just
not forget my necklace.
right. But he just says, "Of course. Please allow me a moment to speak with the master."
Of course.
He smiles at you at that point, and then turns around.
Your orc
Close
smile.
You see he leaves the door open, actually, I'll say, and the direwolf just sits down. You see him kind of lightly tap the direwolf's head, and the direwolf just sits there like a good boy, just looking at all of you. He is huge. Probably, if he were to stand up on his hind legs, he would be taller than you. But he just sits down, blocking the door, panting.
Mango.
Something tells me that he doesn't eat vegetables or fruits.
Yeah, you never know.
No. Direwolves are predators.
Little tails wagging in the back.
Do we?
Can I cast Speak with Animals?
You can.
Cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
You see the ears perk up, and then he looks at you. Doesn't answer yet.
Having a good day there? Being a good boy?
Always.
Not what I was expecting.
Your collar is broken again.
Whatever I had in my mind with that voice that you just said is just fucking see ya.
It'll only be a minute.
Your fur looks so soft.
I am well taken care of.
Can I pet it?
No.
Damn. Maybe later?
We'll see.
Good enough.
You wash your hands?
Always.
Your hands clean? They don't look clean. You look like you got dirty hands. You got dirty hands? Those look like some dirty hands. I don't want those things anywhere near me.
We just fought some
Yeah, see,
strange...
now you're a liar, too. You told me you had clean hands, but they're not. They're dirty. They got some dirty hands. Your friends got dirty hands, too? Let me look. Leans over.
Kai's hands are nice and clean because he does
My hands are
prestidigitation.
immaculate.
How's everybody's hands look? How are your hands looking?
But again, I'm not holding it up for the dog because we can't understand any of this.
Dog is like, no, it looks like some clean hands, except for you. You got some dirty hands. We'll be friends, though. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. You're the one who wanted to talk.
Once I heard your voice in my head, I totally
You making
forgot.
fun of my voice now?
No.
You got a problem with my voice?
Well, he
Yeah,
is.
I've got a problem with my voice.
Do it.
So I always want to know, is the wolf speaking common, or am I am I talking
Oh,
like
I
a
don't
dog?
know.
I don't
That's
even
up
know.
to you.
See, I think it's
I thought it was
when you talk to a droid in Star Wars, it's like they're just going beep beep bop bop, and you're just answering.
Oh,
so
okay, that
you're
makes
you're
sense. I
speaking
like that.
common,
Yeah.
Right, we're
And-
watching you talk.
and
to
they're
the dog.
the-
The dog just.
he's doing
Dog's
dog.
Have you had much trouble with the strange creatures in the lake? We saw these odd bullywug frog people that tried to attack us.
I don't know anything about that, but we've definitely seen some weird stuff coming out of that lake.
What'd you see?
Well, we've seen some long, sinewy-looking things. We've seen some little kind of bugs. Probably some bigger things out there. Just kind of poking its head up and going down. I've been staying in here. Feed me better food out. than whatever's out there.
Protecting your pack. It's good.
Yeah, always.
And then he'll just wait for the butler to come back.
I had
questions. I had like questions I wanted to ask, but it legitimately was deleted from my mind when you just came up with that voice.
Sits there and looks at you when you kind of turn a little bit like, all right, good talk.
All I could think of is, you'll never take me alive.
One last thing. Fuck around and find out.
There's no plan to fuck around, so we won't find out.
Good. You fuck me, I fuck you double.
Is there, what is
No
our plan here?
Odd phrasing, direwolf, but
Conversation, I suppose.
Well, it's always better to get an inside scoop of the lay of the land from someone who's from here. So, if...
Can you understand what they're saying? I was asking the direwolf. Can you understand what they're saying?
If Cheesecat were to escape, they might know where they would go, if not in the city, then nearby. But
Perhaps. I do not know how welcome the Cheesecat was. No. Within this community.
Eldon's gonna like pull on his collar. Like, so anyway, we were looking for a friend of ours named Cheesecat.
The direwolf is like, okay.
It's like a fey frog person. Have you seen them around anywhere?
I've seen him around. What are you asking me for?
Because I can. And what's up with that shrine out there? He's just trying to...
You see the, like, mouth open and does, like, a licking of the lips kind of thing. It's like... And then gets totally quiet.
Anything useful?
Not really.
You see
Did you ask it its name?
You see the orc steps back into your purview at this moment. Please. Come in.
Thank you very much.
Pats.
He's gonna like reach down like where Theratrix would usually be, and then realize that he's not there, and just be like, "Oh, no."
They kind of move out of the way, and they allow. So then the orc like steps in front of you to lead you, and the direwolf waits to flank you. So you head in. Beautiful, beautiful abode. It is wonderfully decorated. Very, very clearly, almost everything about this home has been imported. The stone has been worked in such a way that it shines. There's like marble floors. It is a gorgeous home. There is natural light everywhere. The outside and the inside have almost just as much in the way of like foliage and colors and flowers. Stepping in, it's as if it was just an extension of the garden. Very, very vibrantly colored everywhere. You also get this this sense of like there are gargoyles around. There's not living ones, but just stone statues, and they're not scary looking. It's almost like they're playing, like they're in this playful, joyful, happy poses. Just Yamari. It's not, but there's an element of Kai. I will have you make what would this be? This is gonna be, I guess we can go with like history, and maybe a history check. And Kethra, I'm also gonna let you do it, but it's gonna be, I'm gonna have a higher DC for you. History? Yes.
17.
15.
Okay. Both of you. There's a very adjacent, like Devenia adjacent feel to like the gargoyles and some of the decor around here. Kai, because of who you are, you get a sense that this has a Median, the region just to the north of Devenia, like a little bit of that kind of feel. They are very close, the two nations, I guess. So there's kind of some overlap, which is what Kethra is like feeling. Is it's like almost, it's not quite home, but there's a little bit of home in this, mixed in with all the color. It's like the gargoyles are painted like light greens and blues and stuff when normally they'd be gray. Lead you in through to this sitting area that has curtains and tapestries and more greenery. It's very fresh smelling in here as well. And there within this sitting room, you see a human man, dark hair that is kind of very neatly combed and oiled. Is that the right word? Producted. Lots of product in that hair. Keeping it firmly in place. Wearing like a vest and clothing that again has a little bit of a Median style, but it's light so that he's not sweating in this very tropical environment. Beautiful furniture, very luxurious and comfortable, and he's just kind of sitting there, very finely pressed pants. And as you enter into the sitting area, he stands up and says, I want to try to do Minnesota accent. How do I do that?
Well, don't you know?
Ayla, my Rhea. No, I can't do it. Ayla, my Rhea. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant surprise.
Surprise it is indeed, and I bow.
Comes right over, and it comes in for like a hug. Comes in.
We're hugging now.
Hug.
Hugging.
And then like leans back and hands on the shoulders. What are you doing here? It is a dangerous journey to come out here. Everyone has left. My manners. Who are your friends?
We are the Woven Fates. These are my companions. I almost said Arik.
Bleed from the old campaign.
Eldon, Iolite, Kethra, Kai.
Wonderful to meet you. I am Valario Duskridge. You almost screwed me up with my own name.
What did I say? Valario.
Valario Duskridge. Woven Fates, you say? Is that a new band? Or I notice a little bit of... this looks a little bit more official. Mercenary work?
Mercenary is...
You've shifted
a
careers.
harsh term.
Harsh?
It is, we are working in service of protecting Yamari Island.
The world is changing. Yamari Island is no longer safe. The most famous singer and dancer of Yamari is now one of its fiercest protectors.
That is impressive indeed, and not something I would have ever guessed.
Yeah, same here.
Kairad, if you wouldn't mind bringing some drinks for all of our guests, do you prefer tea, whiskey, rum, wine, water? We also, Corwin makes a mean pineapple juice cocktail or mocktail. Please, make yourselves at home.
Rum will do.
Rum? Just straight rum.
Oh, yes.
Dark or white?
Oh, dark.
Of course.
I am fine as is, thank you.
We'll get a water. You can't be... It's hot in here. Waters for the rest, or any other special...
That'll be fine.
Iolite's like, yeah, I'll have water.
The booze hound over here. And yes,
course.
it is dangerous.
Please sit,
Here.
everyone. Please sit, make yourselves comfortable.
Why have you remained when everyone has left?
Well, this is my home.
Does he have a family, or is it just him in this giant house with a servant and a dog?
So you do know that he has a daughter. But you don't see her currently. unless you're asking him.
Not yet.
Okay. This is my home away from home, and my other home is in Medea. And if as unfortunate as it is, if Yamari Island has become unsafe, well, that is no different than going back home to Medea. So I would rather stay here and enjoy the nice weather at the very least.
Just like the rich to be like, hey, it sucks everywhere else.
The world's
but,
burning. I'll
whatever.
just stay right here, right?
Right, Elon.
I do wish that my fellow peers here, my neighbors, had stayed and maybe contributed a little bit to protecting, perhaps build some kind of safeguard, but we are most likely the most heavily defended in Echo Haven. So my father, as he is, taught me to protect myself. So that's what we have done, and thus far we've been all right.
Your daughter is safe then.
Oh, yes. Oh, you remembered. I'll fetch her. Kyrad, who had left, but very quickly to give orders to someone else, comes back, and he just leans over, get Valoria, if you wouldn't mind. And he nods quietly and disappears. Yes, she is doing, she's doing all right, given the circumstances. She's not a child, so, although she acts that way. He kind of looks at all of you very young people in the room. She's a young 20.
Just call everybody else a child.
Corrects himself. Just have to keep her close. She's just a very young 20.
Have you had any assaults here in Echo Haven since this all began?
We did. Luckily, no one was hurt. We were able to gather some of our defenses and fight off some little disgusting the piglets from the area had grown these grotesque tentacles, and they did, unfortunately, I say no one was hurt, but a local dog was unfortunately eaten, I believe, and that was what really kick-started one of the first families leaving, but we killed it and disposed of the body, and it just was the first straw of many. Then within a day or two of that, we began noticing that the lake had turned color and a smell was coming off of it, and I think that really was what pushed many of the others to leave. But again, I would prefer to stay and fix whatever the issue is, and they preferred to leave, and they'll teach their own.
And do you have a way to communicate with Muswick?
Yes, we have ways. Silas is able to communicate. He's my accountant. He lives in
the basement.
All of my people, we have a space for them here in the home. So, yes, he communicates. He mostly communicates with the banks in the various regions, but yes, we feel confident in our ability to protect ourselves, at least in this small space for now.
No, your anti-magic barrier, I presume, does that keep these creatures from entering the grounds?
It doesn't necessarily keep them from entering. It depends on the creature, of course, it being an anti-magic barrier around the perimeter. If anything is of a nature that is summoned, magical in its very essence, it can't cross. It also gives us just a few moments to attack anything that may be trying to come through that has some kind of magical ability. Not all of these do, but gives us a little boost. We have other defenses, of course, but that's the first. You experienced it. It's kind of pleasant, actually, walking through. You don't realize that there's the weave just kind of constantly humming around us until it's gone.
Yes.
Pure
it is
silence.
Unnatural.
Yes, it is. Quite. Oh, there's Valoria. Valoria comes in, this young, she's shorter than like the average human would be, making you kind of, again, with all the different half races and mixtures of the different ancestries, very likely a half human, half halfling. She comes in, she has dark hair just like her father. She looks very much like him, but smaller. Taller than a halfling, shorter than, well, she's probably like 5'2".
So normal woman size.
Normal woman size. My
Taller than
size.
Yeah, tall Kethra.
Yeah. She comes in and she says, Ayla, Myrea?
Greetings, lady.
Wow. Comes over.
And she give me a hug
Dad,
too.
you did not tell me that Ayla Myrea was coming over, and just in time for my birthday. And he says, oh, oh, no, Ayla just popped in. She's just visiting. It wasn't completely, no, we don't have a party planned or anything like that. And, oh, and she pushes him a little bit. Hi, Ayla.
How do you do?
I'm doing well. I don't think I've seen you since I was 17 or 18.
It has been a while since I have performed here.
So what are you doing here? Who are all of your friends?
These are my companions, the Woven Fates.
Wow, a new band. Except for you. You look like... I mean, you have weapons on you, so...
He plays strings.
I don't blame
The one-string bass.
Just one note. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, we don't mean to disappoint you, but we're not musicians.
Oh,
Yeah.
phooey. Just kidding. No, it's great to have guests. We've been kind of stuck here with nobody to talk to for a while. And I'm happy to see you. You hear a voice. I'm going to do this to myself, and I don't know why. You hear a voice that, like, comes from behind. I take offense to that. No one to talk to. And in walks a human woman, breathtakingly beautiful. Just like on the scale of just like a face that anyone would find beautifully attractive.
I mean, it says so right here. Hello. There's two breathtakingly beautiful people in this room, and I'm extra breathtakingly beautiful because I have this thing on my neck.
Yes.
Not gonna let that pass.
This woman enters. She has like this, we'll go with, we'll say like kind of like a silver and black swirl of hair that is like in an updo. She has more curves than Ayla somehow. Like the curves there's curves for days. And she's wearing a kind of maxi dress kind of outfit, which you even gentlemen know.
I know what that
so
is.
gentlemen, a maxi dress is such
My instant
that,
went to pad, is when you said Max.
Yep.
well,
Nothing super flattering
Yeah,
came
I'm
to
like,
mind when you said it.
it's
Okay.
it's those dresses that hug the whole form. It's against your skin, basically. Goes down to her ankles, where she's wearing these like slight heels, but she's kind of tall already, so like the height is there without the heels needing. She does have like a shawl that's covering just enough, but it's a low cut maxi dress. So
Does it have pockets?
no.
That's a very good question.
That's
This
the most
as
important
far as
question.
you can tell,
Magical
anyway.
pocket.
I was gonna say, if it did, I'm sure that she would say it within the first like 10 seconds.
Because it has pockets.
Do you like my dress?
Her shawl may have pockets, but the dress it's so tight there's no space for pockets. As far as you can tell, anyway, it's magical world. So
Built like a brick shithouse, huh? That's what we're hearing. All right. Good to know.
she walks in and smiles, and Valoria is like, "Oops." Except for you, Cressida. Of course, you are fabulous to talk to. And Valario looks over and says, "This is Miss Cressida Raven Shadow. She is our in-house tutor for Valoria. Very professional. We are lucky to have her on staff here at the Duskridge Estate. And she smiles and just, like, they come out, like, he holds her hand and like kisses her fingers, and she's like, oh, you're sweet.
She's the reason why, like, medieval kings and stuff had, like, the secret passage in their room down to the mistress's chambers.
And she says, I couldn't help but overhear the woven fates, and it is very lovely to meet you.
And to you as well.
And I've been trying to teach Valoria something in the way of manners, and Valoria's in the back going, me. But she, like, somehow had a little, like, ruler in her hand and, like, slaps her thigh real quick. Ow. Yes, they were just visiting us here and asking a lot of questions. Is there something actually that I can help you with besides, of course, dinner? It is almost dinner time. We'll be having Corwin make one of our family dinners for everyone.
Oh, very much appreciated. Yes. Well, we were on the other side of the lake. You are familiar with the cheese cat?
Yes, I have not heard them referred to as the cheese cat, but it is apt, as they are the only cheese cat that I am aware of. One of a kind, unique, fabulous.
And you would not happen to know if they left this area with everyone else?
I would find that very hard to believe. Cheese cat is a staple of Lolia Pond. They don't go anywhere, as far as I am aware, anyway. This is their home.
Would you know anyone that may want to hurt Cheese Cat?
Hurt them? No, this is... Your line of questioning is leading me to believe that something has happened to Cheese Cat. And you see Valoria standing there, like her hand goes up to her mouth, and she's just like waiting for you to say something.
Before we came into Echo Haven, we sought out Cheese Cat. As we made it into their cottage, signs of a struggle. We found blood and trails leaving out. No sign of Cheese Cat.
You see again Valoria, the daughter. She just kind of like sits down on one of the chairs, and she goes, "Dad." And he looks at her. It's all right. It's all right. Are you sure that it was a struggle? I don't know Fae folk very well, but they can be a little eccentric. I've never been inside of Cheese Cat's home, but...
We found blood, and the place was thrown about. Even for a messy person, looks as though maybe someone might have been searching for something. And we're not sure if it was Cheese Cat's blood or someone else, but no sign of Cheese Cat.
Well, that is indeed troubling. Make different music because you're in their house.
You said it's like a garden in here, though.
Yeah. There. There's a little bit in the background. This is, okay. I personally do not know anyone who would want to hurt Cheese Cat. We have always invited them to our events. They always come with wonderful trinkets from the Fae realm for sale or trade. Oh, this is very distressing to hear. And you say the home was
Ransacked.
Ransacked. There, do you believe the monsters from the lake, anything, or from outside
There
of...
was Boot prints. Humanoid boot prints.
Nothing we have seen so far has worn boots.
And Valoria says, boot prints? I mean, only, like, people wear boot prints. You think it was people?
Unfortunately, sometimes during crisis, sometimes people use it for their advantage.
That's really shitty.
The world is a shitty place.
The tracks seem to lead back in this direction, but we lost track of them quite a bit away.
We were attacked on our way here after leaving Cheese Cats.
By people? There were people that attacked you?
No,
No.
not by
Creatures from the pond.
Oh.
There's probably more, so avoid the water.
Valerio says, oh, yes, we've been avoiding the water. It's a horrible view as well, just the green and the smell.
I'm not entirely sure it is water anymore.
Well, that is something that I have been very afraid of, honestly. So what more can you tell us of what you saw? The tracks. Well, if you could still see tracks, did it look like it happened today, or
Recently.
like within?
We found blood as well, so it was recent.
Well, I can say honestly, now that things have changed here, it could have been anyone. It could have been bandits or pirates, or some of the families have left in just the last couple of days, perhaps.
We passed the Glade Runner family on the way, but I mean,
Yes, they were the most. They just left today.
thank you for getting a safe fucking day.
You think it was them? Do you? But was there anything? I don't. I'm not going to accuse anyone.
We're not here to make accusations on anyone. We just want to find out what happened and try and find Cheese Cat.
As do I. As do I. Well. What can I do to help? Would you like for one of us to go with you back to the home and look around? Cressida is a very observant person. Or perhaps it was the lake. I mean, we are in dire need of getting that lake cleared out and cleaned up. So, mercenaries? Sorry, too harsh. You're hired sword hands.
Problem solvers.
Problem solvers. Well, the lake itself is a problem to be solved.
The lake is just a symptom of a much larger problem with the island. It'd be like trying to put out one section of a forest fire as the rest still burns. We have to find the core.
Indeed. Are you looking for a core? You've spoken of Cheese Cat, but you also are making me believe that this goes further than that.
It does. Cheese Cat was someone we were hoping to speak to on our way, but
On your way.
We're going into the wilds.
Wow.
we're hoping to solve this problem.
You see Valoria just kind of like leans in very slowly, and you see Valario like looks at her and just shakes his head like, and she gives him like a dirty look, leans back.
Is she gonna sneak out of the house and we have a new party member?
Don't give her ideas.
Have you ever done an escort mission in a video game? We do not want that.
You've seen me do escort missions in a video
Yeah,
game.
you usually kill the escort first thing you can.
Not on purpose.
She's like, oh, Duck is a bad guy. Wow.
Well, I'm going to go chat with Corwin, make sure that he has the make sure that he makes something very special for dinner for all of us. I also just need a moment to process. Cheesecat has been a very integral person, at least from my perspective, in our community. Again, all of the little trinkets, but also these things have been helpful for garnering folks to come and visit, and they have always been very, very pleasant. And this is, while I am not the leader by vote, or I find myself to be responsible for what happens in this community, and I know that we are the only ones left in this community, but it's still distressing to hear that something has happened right under our noses, and we were so focused on what we were doing here that we did not even notice.
You said from your perspective, is there anyone that you know of in Echo Haven that might have had a grievance of any kind with Echo Haven? Cheesecat?
Well, it's always hard to say, and I don't like to speak ill of folks who aren't here, as they cannot defend themselves, but there are several families, some of which don't quite appreciate the Fae. I'll just put it that way. They find them to be, tricky and wanted to keep their children away. There are some. I would not want to speak out of turn and then put someone's name out there that just. Let me think about it for.
I'm gonna pull at him because I always forget
Insight.
about it.
Yeah.
Do I believe his concern? Like, is it genuine?
I was going to ask the same thing for an insight check.
Okay, make an insight check.
Me also?
Yeah, both of you.
Say always. You do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I take you at face value.
I literally was reading an article
Fuck me.
that said...
10.
Alright, since none of you got it, I'll try it too.
It's a 14
All right,
total.
let's just make it.
Everybody, insight checks
Because I was
all
reading
around.
an article about asking your DM to make certain roles when you feel it's the right
Oh, yeah,
time, and I always
please do.
forget. I always forget to do that.
17.
14.
You all, looking at Valario and not really knowing him that well, he seems like he's a genuine... He is exuding genuine concern
I mean, I could charm him.
from your limited interaction with him. You don't see any indication that he's, sweating, or even the people around him have been acting in such a way that this is new news to them. I didn't know if you were going to try to charm him.
Oh, no.
Okay.
He hasn't given me cause to charm him. Plus, I'd have to dance for a minute.
Hold on.
I mean, I'd be able to get him, the daughter, the sexy teacher, and Lurch. So
Sexy
And the
teacher.
direwolf.
no, I can only do 4.
You see, he says, I just, maybe a moment of coming up with a menu with Corwin will calm me down.
Yes, we will be enjoying
Please.
very comfortable chairs.
Yes, and yes. And he, as he walks by Cressida, he just kind of puts his hand on her shoulder and gives a little squeeze, one of those it's like a professional but unprofessional squeeze. Nobody should be touching you if you're in a professional setting. But he's just like it's gonna be okay. And he doesn't say that out loud, but that's the squeeze.
Things will be all right then.
It'll be okay.
He walks out into some other room. Cressida
He does it to Lurch, too.
Goes into the
Just the way
kitchen,
he's-
gets each chef.
This is where the football stuff comes in. Cressida takes his space, the seat that he was sitting on. The drinks have been brought to you, and she also has a drink. And Valoria, again, the moment her father leaves, she leans forward and she says, "So you are mercenaries, problem solvers? You all look like you're the same age as me. How did that happen? What did you do to do that?"
Right place, right time, I guess.
Where is the right place, and what is the right time?
When you find yourself about to be killed, you kill whatever's about to kill you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then you just become a mercenary because someone tried to, like, kill you once?
I mean, you can sign up in the city, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah, and Cressida is sitting there just, like, sipping on, like, a martini, just looking at Valoria from across, like, kind of like an amused smile, but she's not stopping her from the conversation that she's trying to have.
Knowing how to handle weapons or touch the weave does help.
Hold on, sorry. Well, I mean, you look like you know how to handle a weapon. You know how to touch the weave, too?
A little.
Iolite's in the corner, like,
It was
I didn't know if it was
Amanda here because it's like the seething jealousy.
a jealous Ayla is my absolute favorite Ayla.
You'll hear Kethra go, "You okay, Iolite?"
and she goes, huh? Oh, yeah. No, I'm fine.
And
Are
I
you
was
okay?
like, and I go look at her like, I said that in my head. Is what she's gonna say. I said that in my head.
Valoria
I
looks
guess
over
you're
as
not okay.
Iolite is like, smiles, and then back in your head, no, I'm fine.
And she's gonna go, yeah,
No, I'm fine.
yeah, I don't believe you.
I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine. Are you all right? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm not the one I'm worried about. You look a little jealous, girl.
Jealous.
You're seething over there. You're funny. That's totally Kethra said. You're funny. You're seething over
You're
there.
funny.
You're funny.
I'm not seething. I'm fine. I'm fine.
If I could take a snapshot of you right now, you'd be thinking differently.
What's that?
And then you see her face is
I
like,
want a shirt
she
with
like
Nick's
tries
on
to,
it and it just says "You're funny."
You're funny. I can't
She
draw,
tries
so
to-
I can't do that.
you watch as Iolite tries to like fix her face. She's like, her smile
You'll hear Kethra go.
shifts a little bit.
Kethra goes, relax. You're almost there. Almost there. Relax. Relax. Little less gums.
She ends in a like closed.
As you're talking, I'm imagining Amanda's face
Yeah,
doing the
like-
smiles.
She's like, okay,
Closed lip smile.
good enough. They'll buy that.
You hear.
Keep that one up.
Thanks.
T2 with Arnold smiling.
And
Maybe you could practice in the mirror.
so what kind of weapons do you all have?
A dagger, but I am the weapon, so.
I am the one who knocks.
Ketra's
Kethra.
just like, I am the weapon.
Do you like dance attack, Ayla?
I touch the weave through dance, yes.
And does it like it like attacks things?
Sometimes. Attacking is not really my thing, but I can defend myself.
What about you?
I use my anger.
So you can like channel your anger into like force that goes out and like hurts things?
Something like that.
And she looks at Iolite. I'm like, what do you do? She's like, I don't do anything.
I do rocks.
Kethra goes, she just likes to collect rocks.
Yeah, I'm the rock collector. That's all I do.
She collects the best rocks.
I do. I collect the best rocks. That's my role. And Valeria's like, all right. And then you like throw the rocks, and Iolite just kind of looks at her, and she's like, all right. So, like, if somebody wanted to like join up, we'll say, and like, and Cressida is like, Valoria, that's quite enough. This is a ridiculous conversation we have had numerous times. You are a child. Like these, they're not any. They're the same age as me. They are not older than me, right? I'm 20. How old are you? How old are you?
Sometimes,
How old are you?
I'm 32.
How old are you?
sometimes
How old are
age
you?
20.
See?
But sometimes age isn't measured in just years, but life experience.
I have tons of life experience. I know how to write calligraphy, and I can speak 3 languages.
Have you seen what is out there now?
I did see it, and I helped. to kill the baby piglet.
No, but you have not seen the mother ones.
No, but I will never see them if I'm stuck
Or the flayed
here.
beasts.
Nope. But I want to see it, and I can never see it if I'm stuck here. I want more. And they are keeping me here. And Cressida is like, Valoria, do not. You are going to make these problem solvers believe that there is a problem to be solved here where there is none. You are a child, and you must learn.
I think you were very brave for helping kill the piglet.
Thank you.
But it might be best for you to stay here so you can help protect your father.
You are of no help to me.
Perhaps with some training.
So, yes, I agree. I think that that is a great idea. I'm really good at training. I am super good at training.
Well, then your father perhaps can hire a swordsman that can
yes,
train you here for, say, 2 or 3 years.
Eldon's gonna, like, use his cape to cover up his short sword.
It's too late. Sure, I didn't notice your short sword.
Giggity.
Giggity.
Short to you.
That is a great idea.
I was in the pool. It's cool.
I was in the pool.
Sorry, you said Seinfeld.
I think that that is a great idea, and that I will talk to my dad about that. And if you want to make a whole ton of money, he will pay you to teach me how to kill things.
We unfortunately do not have the time, but we appreciate the offer.
We'll see. You haven't seen...
We'll see. You are now my toys.
You have not seen how much money we could offer you. And again, Cressida is like, this is wildly inappropriate of conversation to have right now, Valoria. And I am very unimpressed with how you are handling our guests right now, I must say. And you're acting as if I'm not sitting here listening to you, which is also very ridiculous. And Valoria is like, you don't scare me.
You ain't my mom.
It's Miss... Was it Shadow Raven?
Raven Shadow.
Raven Shadow. Apologies. Have you been on the island long?
I have. I've been here going on probably 25 years or so. Well, I guess a long time is relative. There are those of us out there that live quite a long time. 25 years is a blip. I mean, the mayor of Mosswick herself would probably not even blink an eye at 25 years. But for me, long time.
Where are you from originally?
Well, that is a long story, but I'm not from here. I'll put it that way.
How did you find yourself in the employ of this family?
Another long story. But I was friends with his father first. His father knew my parents, and when I graduated from university, they offered me a position, and I've been in their employ ever since. Even before sweet Valoria was born.
And what are your thoughts on these changes to the island now?
I believe it's very unfortunate. This is a lovely area, and I do hope that we are able to bring back some semblance of safety to Echo Haven. I don't know what Villario has planned, but he always has plans, and I am grateful to be a part of them. So, I'll be here when he makes his final decision.
And you've been a tutor for the family? What is it exactly that you do?
What I toot? What do I
I
toot?
buttle, sir. Is that Clue?
Yeah.
I'm a butler. I buttle.
I buttle.
I am in charge of teaching Valoria everything that she is to know to be up and coming in her father's business. And that includes maths and different languages. As she said, she speaks at least 3, should be 4. And how to speak and walk and eat and all of those important things that folks need to know how to do properly when you come from money. And Valaria is like, it's boring as fuck. And I don't belong here.
Sounds it. You need to cry out. Sounds boring as fuck.
It's real boring. And I, appreciate it, but I belong out there. And I think it would be great if I could just get a little bit of training.
Ayla's sitting back, smiling. Her tail's like slightly wagging because she likes the cut of this kid's jib. She's after my own heart.
And where are you all from? Clearly not from Yumari. Definitely, I hear a tinge of Devenia from at least the 2 of you and what you've said so far. Am I mistaken? No.
No.
A long way from home and in direct sunlight the entire time.
That was an adjustment.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
They
Yes.
are great for a conversation. But,
Well, mercenaries tend to be, or problem solvers. I apologize.
they have yet to adjust to the sunny, pleasant climate. Although, you missed most of the pleasantness.
Yes, I'm not quite sure that the island life is for me.
Agreed.
That's unfortunate. There are some beautiful places on this island. I know a little bit more difficult to get to, given the monsters now, but we've made do everywhere else on Eleothis and still have beautiful places to visit, even despite monstrosities roaming. So I'm sure once the adjustment period, once we've gotten over it, you'll be able to go back to the hot springs and the hopefully the pond, the lake, will get back to its former glory. It really is a beautiful sight.
Do you have any insights into Cheesecat? And, if they fled, do you have any ideas, perhaps, where they may have fled?
Unfortunately, I had very little interaction with Cheesecat. We didn't really have much in common. They're very eccentric individual. Just not my cup of tea. Nothing against Faye. Just their personality. We had nothing to talk about. I watched it. We met each other. I watched them interact with others, and I kept my distance. Nothing to contribute to their way of life.
Do you know if anybody would want to hurt them?
Well, like Valario said, there were folks who had their opinions, but as Valario mentioned, I would prefer not to say names that would bias you against anyone who you may or may not have met. But depending on if further evidence arises, maybe it will help us.
And you are, for certain, the only ones left in Echo Haven.
As far as we are aware, but in terms of the families, there are some families that perhaps left a guard or 2 behind. That was their decision. A little short-sighted from my perspective. But families are gone. Just us.
I have a question above the table about
Yeah.
how old does Raven Shadow look? And how old did the father?
Valario.
Valario.
Valario looked like he was in his mid-40s. Maybe a little older than that. She looks about the same. Like 40, yeah, somewhere 40s to 50.
trust her, but I can't. I'm like, I don't have any.
You said you
Cool
were
magic.
friends with Vara's father.
My parents were.
So your family and their family have been together.
Yes, they have known each other for quite some time. I, again, did not get deep into my own parents' affairs. Let's just say that sending me far away to work for Valario Duskridge's son was, my parents were happy to do it. So, and I'm happy to be here, of course.
The son or daughter?
Hmm?
Was that a? You just dropped lore that was supposed to go over our head. You said
Valario, so her saying that, Valario Duskridge is the father as well.
Oh, so this is Valario Duskridge the second?
Could be the 6th for all you
Yeah,
know.
right. Okay. I just wasn't sure if like oh, hidden son in there.
But you will be staying for dinner?
Yeah, I always accept a dinner invitation.
Maybe a little cleanup as well. You look slightly dampened by the Oh, prestidigitation. Quite nice. It's very handy,
It comes in every now and then.
especially in the swamps and the jungles. Lovely.
Yes, we'll gladly take a cleanup before dinner.
Fantastic. Please do not pay too much mind to Valaria's outbursts. She is fine here. There is no danger to her except for herself if she were to leave and try to become a mercenary, as she's spoken about many times, even before the piglet incident. And Valaria's like, I'm sitting right here. You're talking about me like I'm not right here.
Sometimes it's best not to ignore when someone wants something different than their family, but sometimes it's better to guide them in the right direction.
Well, she will be guided in the right direction, which is to her studies and her books and her sitting with her legs crossed at the table and knowing which forks to use. All very important.
They use more than one fork here.
Several. It's stupid. It's dumb. There's at least 3 forks on the table, and I just think it's a waste of time. Clean all 3. And one of you got to use them in an order.
You seek.
Eldon's gonna chuckle at that because
You seek more excitement out of life. I completely understand this.
See?
But also knowing etiquette is something that comes in very handy.
I know etiquette. I've been knowing etiquette for my whole life. I want to know something else, but
It's more than knowing.
I want to do. I want to do something else.
you want to see your friends die,
I don't have any friends.
you'll make them, and you'll lose some.
Well,
You'll take life. It's not fun.
It's not
well,
easy
what do they
to live
say?
with.
Better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. I read that in one of the books.
Those
It's
books.
a little different in translation, honey. Into the real world.
Well, I would like to know for myself. I know I'm not going to get any help from all of you, and that's fine. But I am going to bug you out later. She stands up and she walks out of the room, and Cressida is like, I will let you have a moment amongst yourselves while they finish up the dinner. I'm sure Valaria will come in his bloviating way and continue the conversation, but see you soon. And she stands up, downs her drink, delicately places it down on the table, and then leaves, leaving your group. She does. Every movement that she makes is calculated in a beautifully, like, flowing way. But it doesn't look forced. It's just naturally graceful and alluring.
Yeah, I like the child. She reminds me of me.
She has a lot of heart.
She's gonna get in trouble.
She's not that great, says Iolite.
Hope she doesn't have to learn the hard way.
I have a feeling she will.
I think she
As
should
we
just
all
stay
do.
here. Then she won't learn the hard way.
Don't worry, Ayla. We won't take her with us.
I sympathize with how she feels. I felt that way myself.
We all feel the call. Perhaps she will figure out what to do. But now is probably not the best time.
Knowing which fork to use for which course of a meal wouldn't help against those things.
Nope.
That's for a different kind of battle.
So we have no leads on this cheese cat now.
No, we're in the same place as when we first got here.
Should we just continue into the Sleeping Wilds, or should we explore this further?
Perhaps we can ask Valero. See if he can find out anything while we go deeper
What time of day
into
is
the
it?
wilds.
Sorry, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Evening, I think.
Yep, it's probably about, like, at this point, you're probably rolling up on, like, 3, 4. You probably have, like, 1 more hour or so of daylight before. And even now, it's, because you're in the jungles, yeah, the suns are up, but it's,
Let's say it's the canopy.
yeah.
We should
How
go out
long
in
about an
first
hour's
light.
light's been gone?
So, since it's about 3 p.m., Nyx has been gone probably for about, like, an hour. The meetup is at 2 a.m.
Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. I totally forgot the time. I was like, what time is that supposed to be? I was like, I think it's 2.
many hours
No,
from
they
now.
have yet to invite
sleeping
us
for Kethra.
to stay here for the night.
Well, I don't think we should go into the jungle at night. At least we can stay in one of these homes. At least inside.
Oh, I completely agree. Every time we have been out at night, it has been a shit show.
I'm sure we're gonna have a few nights out there if we don't know where the rift is or how long it'll take us to find it, so one more night under a roof won't hurt us.
I completely agree with that.
Sure.
A meal and a rest, and the cheese cat mystery will have to wait, I suppose.
I'm gonna have everybody roll a d20, please. Sorry, just 1 second, because we also have to wait for him to come back. But
That's like my 8th 10.
Nice.
Middle of the road.
That's all it's been.
Hey, at least it's double digits, right? At least it's double digits and it's not a 1.
Roll a d20.
Oh, crap.
Quickly.
I'm going. I had to pee. I am well hydrated. Just a regular D20?
Yep.
Yep.
That's a nat 1.
Oh, look at you.
No, don't
Did
look
that
at me.
one.
Ignore me.
All right, and hold on, I'm gonna roll for Iolite as well.
Please a nat 20 to overrate that.
All right, so we'll go Kai.
8.
Oops.
Wait, are we rolling like... What are we...
Don't know.
even know.
We don't know
Oh,
yet.
You're
great.
just rolling.
Oh, great.
Just rolling.
Okay,
Where-
Kethra.
What
15.
happened? Like,
Nothing.
Nothing.
nothing yet?
Nothing.
Nope,
We're just
just
rolling,
one
dude.
shot.
I
We're
didn't know if-
scared.
Well, I didn't know if we did like 8 or something.
No, we're scared. We're rolling.
Shit.
Sorry, you got a.
Nat 1.
Oh, right, the net one. You just said that. Ayla.
10.
At least we got one that's got 2 numbers in it. What Ayla yet?
4. Hey, you don't know.
Fuck us.
You don't know. Okay. I just
Not
needed a
saying
roll.
anything.
Okay, so
It's all bad.
This is all bad. That's what I was thinking. I was like, when you were like, fuck, I was like, yes, you guys are maybe screwed. Very.
What did you get?
15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good at least.
Yeah, the first time in a while, so I'll take it.
Kyrad, the orc, steps back into the room just to double check if anybody needs any other drinks. You having another drink? Or are you good?
I need to keep my wits about me.
Okay. So more waters or non-alcoholic drinks brings them in.
I think the pineapple juice.
Oh, pineapple juice.
You said he made a mean pineapple juice or something.
Yeah.
Just imagine just taking pineapples, just crushing them.
No, well, that was Corwin, who you have not yet met.
Oh.
Kyrad's the butler. He buttles. Okay,
Such a great
so
movie. I'm a butler, sir. I buttle.
so you all kind of just take a moment to rest, and Iolite keeps checking in with you because Kethra, as you are, the hours or another hour ticks by, we'll say, without Nyx at your side. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have you roll we'll go with roll a d20, add your charisma modifier, and then
I am not very charismatic. Nope, not that. 8.
I would say everyone after like another hour, you as a group are noticing a marked difference in Kethra's demeanor than you have seen in the past. Like normally collected and cool, Kethra is
Sweating
fidgety
like that
and
Jordan
like
P, feel mean when you're just pouring down his face.
maybe not to that point, but definitely like just not the same.
I'm not comfortable in fancy places either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will you? Sorry.
Are you all right?
No, but that doesn't matter right now.
Ayla gets up and kind of sits down closer to you. Like puts her hand on your knee.
Did you get a
You were gonna
vision?
say thigh, weren't you?
I don't know what I was gonna... I lost all body part words.
I'm just anxious. I don't like it here.
It is quite comfortable.
I don't find it comfortable at all.
We will be in the jungles soon enough.
You just kind of see Kethra just sitting there, getting more anxious, and her legs just shaking, like bouncing up and down with anxiety, like. Because as soon as it'd be the time where she would know Nyx would be back, if she doesn't find him, she's gone. She's like, bye, bye.
What is it about the place that bothers you so much?
She'll say in her head to Iolite, Nyx isn't here. She's gonna go, but so she knows, but she's gonna look at you and go, there's just something I don't like. I can't place it, but there's something I don't like. It feels wrong.
In your head, you hear back from Iolite. I know, I'm so sorry. I know that asking him to, like, be there until 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's only, like, 3, that's, like, another, 11 hours away? I know it's a long time, so I really appreciate it. And if I can pay you back in any kind of favor in the future, you just let me know, and she, so you're, like, just sitting there quietly, and she's just not looking at you. I will do that. Just let me know, and this is a really big favor. And thank you for keeping it quiet.
She'll say back, of course, keep it quiet, but the favor you can return the favor by, we're not sleeping tonight. You're staying up with me.
Yeah. No, of course, yeah.
And you're waiting out there with me for Nyx.
Yeah.
Okay. And you see the leg bounce get more intense.
Do you
She's,
think
like,
they are
squeezing.
hiding something?
I have no idea.
You're naturally suspicious. You have no inclinations that they are hiding information.
If I know one thing, is those who are affluent, they always hide things because they think they're separate from the rest. So even if they don't allude to it, they'll never be 100% honest.
That is a true enough statement. Have you just been sitting here lounging for like an hour since the dude left?
Yeah, they're like
Cup up next
intentionally
to the
like
door, listening to
Yeah.
everything.
listening to us. So how about that Valaria, huh? Says Iolite.
That's the kid.
Mm-hmm.
She seems
Kind of young and dumb, like kind of stupid. Like she doesn't really know how the world works, you know. And imagine wanting to be out there in that. That's stupid. That's just.
Yes, why would anyone want to come from wealth and go right into the fire?
Right. Exactly.
As he just stares at her.
That is kind of dumb, though. Sorry, Kai. Sorry, Kai.
Oh, well, I didn't mean you. This is a different situation. This is a completely different situation than your situation. It's totally different.
I meant it,
Yes. Yes, her home is being attacked.
But she's not in a position to do anything.
Right.
All her enthusiasm.
But the desire is natural.
No argument. But desire without skill.
The skills can be taught. If they have plenty of gold to hire someone to teach her.
She's a little too overzealous. She'll get herself killed.
Not necessarily.
She would last 5 minutes.
I think that depends on
minutes.
where her skill set
Yeah.
may lie.
I was being generous when I said 5. I think Iolite's more right. She lasts 2 minutes out there.
I mean, unless
Right.
she is planning on just going out by herself.
Which
then
is
yes.
a lot less than you would last, of course. Like you'd last at least like, you know, a couple of hours.
Thanks.
She has no business being there.
I think she's just a bored. I think she's just a bored young girl. I'm
She
looking
hasn't-
for adventure,
Adventures that she's read about in books.
and they're very different in person. Yet she doesn't know that yet.
And I hope she doesn't have to learn.
I hope not either. But maybe if she learns now, she won't do something dumb.
We all do
Also-
something dumb.
Yeah, but none of us, with Kai excluded, came from this.
There are things you don't know. Sometimes people want to choose their life, not have it rolled out in front of them.
I
And
understand.
it may seem stupid, but having free will is more important than nice things.
Free will's great and all. And free will, absolutely. But free will to go basically kill yourself?
So are we gonna like bring her with us?
God, no.
Okay.
We're not going to
not.
bring her with us.
Yeah, because she definitely would die.
She'd just be a liability.
Said I understand her feelings. I didn't say she wasn't
Stupid.
overjealous.
Under different circumstances, I would tell her to just go into the city and find a theater and live the bohemian life. She
Under-
says like missing it.
Under normal circumstances, she has the gold, the will, and the drive to do just about anything. She could have taken the time to become some sort of a mercenary or a fighter. But
She wouldn't have had that choice. Her life's been laid out for her since the day she was born.
I suppose so. But, I mean, so hasn't all of ours in some way. Look what we call ourselves. The Woven Fates. We're all on a road to somewhere.
Her life is going to be the same as her parents, as was for their parents, so on and so forth. Unless she decides to walk away from it all.
I think it all comes back to, under normal circumstances, I'd agree. But right now, walking anywhere that isn't these halls is a quick and ugly death.
Agreed.
I agree. She should stay here.
I really hope this girl's listening with a glass, like I said, like up against the door. I like this one, I hate this one. The red one's cool. I like the really pale one.
Kyrad steps in, the orcish butler, and his direwolf companion by his side. Dinner is served. If you would please follow me.
Oh, I hope it's not cheese cat.
You walk through.
Dark, man. Just got dark.
And that
I like
just
it.
instantly popped in.
Just
It's like
giant
the
frog
thing
legs.
is- yeah, just
We're really tapping
found him.
Tim Curry movies here. Just like opens it up and there's
Is there any way
Ready.
can we like, we don't have the floor plate, but is there any way to wash up so I'm not all grimy?
I figured we would have kind of done
yeah,
that.
they'll let
Okay.
you wash up beforehand.
Sitting at a dinner with
Gina, just
blood and mud on my
Nasty.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they get you cleaned up beforehand, and then you head
Take a little
into
piece of bullywug out of here.
you head into the dining area through these beautifully decorated halls. I mean, the suns are going down, but looking like up. There's glass in it's kind of like skylights and just everything to let you know that you are in a very rich person's home. There's even an atrium like center that you can kind of walk around, and if you were to go into it, the garden is open air in the middle of this house. But they lead you around beautiful items, some of which you recognize as being like Devenian little trinkets and Median and things from other places, some from Aprana or Emporia, and then from Cassia and Callia, just little, and then others that you don't recognize, places that you haven't been, and you don't know anybody necessarily from there. But you walk through and are led into a beautiful dining area. Again, lots of greenery and flowers and everything. And as you sit down, there's already salads that have been placed out on the table. You see all kinds of...
You use this fork.
I was gonna say, Kethra goes to Kai.
Which fork?
Like that you would use your tail.
Start
You just
on-
like tap which fork it is that I have to use.
Start on the outside and work your way in.
That's what she said.
Let's see.
Kethra goes, this one, this one, this one. Okay.
I was gonna say, Eldon's gonna lock eyes with Kethra, like wide eyes of like, what are all these plates?
Lots of
You see
plates.
Kethra picking up the fork, like picking up 3 forks, going.
She has it between her fingers. She's like,
Eldon's never eaten out of like plates or forks or anything like silverware that's
Catherine's
not
saying.
made out of either wood or stone.
Kethra just had bowls. They didn't even have that. They just ate with their hands, dude. So she was like, dude, like, I'm new to forks, man. And there's 3 now? Shit.
Yeah, I always do it wrong at all the places where they have them at conferences that way, and I'm like, why? We're at a conference.
What did Scuttle call the fork in Little Mermaid?
A dinglehopper.
Dinglehoppers. Yes. What are all these dinglehoppers?
You sit down and you see a lovely plate salad with a vinaigrette that has not yet been poured on it, but Kyrad comes around and pours some. There's these shadow-touched greens, and they're topped with these slivers of moonlit cheese and like crystallized flower petals that add a little bit of color, but also flavor. And
Interesting.
as it's
Flower petals.
yeah, as it's he comes around, his hand like behind his back, one arm behind his back, and gently like pour some of the vinaigrette on your salads, and as that's happening, Valoria, and Cressida walk in wearing completely different outfits than what you first met them in. Still very lovely. And then you also see a gnome enters, and he has somehow with him this bag and like also a book, and you can see that there's a quill that's writing without him writing with it. You did see those at the harbor master. So you see this quill that's just going, and he's like kind of whispering at it, and he's got this bag, and he's coming in, and all these papers are hanging out, and he's, I'm so sorry. And he sits down, and Valaria's like, no, please.
You sounded
of
like
course.
Woody Allen to me when you just said that.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
So
I'm so
sorry.
sorry.
Always in bed.
Oh, my quill won't stop. Oh.
He looks like he's, it's hard to tell with gnomes. They live a pretty decent lifespan. He's probably, again, like middle-aged looking, which means he's very likely a couple 100 years old, but it's hard to tell. And he just like sits down, he's got his glasses, he's got like a brown hair, but like balding in the center. Very nice to meet you. And he sits, I've heard a lot about you already in just the past hour. Really great to have you here, yes. And Valaria says, this is Silas Nocturne. He is our bookkeeper and accountant, my very dear friend. And behind us, the chef, and you kind of turn and look, and their hands behind the back, white, with just like, it's pristine, but somehow a white chef's outfit just standing there is another human, has like blondish hair, and he just nods at each of you as Valaria says, this is Corwin. He is the chef of the house, and as always has made a fantastic meal for us. So please, if you would not mind, just sit and enjoy. Everyone else sits around. Cressida is there. So the only folks that are not sitting are Kyrad and Corwin, who are kind of standing on different ends of the room outside the threshold, just waiting as you eat.
Have we heard the name Silas Nocturne before? For some reason,
You have not.
No.
No.
For some reason, it sounds super familiar.
No, you have not heard that name before. At least not in this family context. And Valaria says, I hope you had some time to relax, especially after what you described. I'm sure the adrenaline, let that kind of flow out, have a wonderful meal, and hopefully you will also stay this evening. Please, enjoy your shadow salad.
Much appreciated, thank you.
The flower petals are especially lovely. So everyone kind of digs in, and Valoria looks at her father. So they were saying, Dad, that I should get some training, like only maybe 5 minutes goes by before she brings it up. And I was thinking that it would be a great idea if you hired one of the woven fates to train me so I can become a mercenary.
That's
And
not what we said.
Valario is like, there's like the clinking of utensils on plates. Oh, did they? They did say that, did they? What a wonderful idea, Valaria. I will. Well, we can discuss it at some point in the future. So I think the future is now, and that we should discuss it now. And they kind of go back and forth a little bit at the table.
We are currently not for hire. We have other business to attend to first.
Well, funny that you should bring that up. I was thinking about our discussion earlier and how you mentioned that Cheese Cat has been assaulted in some fashion and missing. And I was actually thinking that given your skills as mercenaries, it may behoove us to explore the lake and see about clearing that up. Because perhaps the culprit I know you described boot prints. It could have been someone visiting, for all we know, but perhaps clearing up the lake, not only would that alleviate any further monsters of coming out and disrupting any investigations, but again, perhaps the cheese cat is in the lake. You would be the perfect group to do such a thing, and
what do you mean by clearing out the lake?
Well,
killing everything that is in it?
I don't know if it would need to go that far. Are you familiar with the the legend of the lake?
Something about a water dryad.
Yes. None of us have actually seen her, but there have been tales and folks who have said that they have seen her, although no one could corroborate their stories. I've never personally seen her, but it strikes me that whatever has happened to the lake, clearly recent and clearly related to whatever is going on out there in Sleeping Wilds, she may have been removed or some other fate that has befallen her. So whatever has done so, clearing out that lake and making it inhabitable again for the creatures and perhaps to bring others here, that might be a good place to start. I don't know if it would mean killing everything or finding the source, but clearly you are mercenaries such with great high regard that you have been fortunate enough to land a contract that sets you out into the wilds to find the cause, I believe you said? Symptoms versus cause.
I do understand your thoughts and rationale, but as we said, as of right now, we do have to continue on deep into the wilds.
I see.
The longer we put it off, the worse things may get.
We will be coming back this way, though. If we can find some answers of what's causing this on the island, perhaps that can lead to how we can fix the lake.
I see. Very disappointed. I understand, of course. I
understand this is your home. You'd like to see it return to its former glory.
I would. And as he says that, you see, like, Corwin and Kyrad, they, like, leave and then come back with the next... Kyrad comes and, like, clears out your plates. Whether you're done or not, you're done.
It's like a wedding.
Done.
It's like a wedding.
Time. They take the plates, and then Corwin in his crisp white outfit comes by and lays out the next course in front of all of you, which I have described here in front of me. Valario, yes, like Valoria, why did I do this? Because that's what they would do. That's what the character would do. Valario says, and Corwin, what is this lovely meal you have set in front of us? And he says, I'm gonna try.
You can do
Can't do
it.
Are you trying to do a Gordon Ramsay or
No, well, I was thinking of
Guy Fieri?
One Piece,
Oh.
the blonde guy. He's got that like Cockney accent, sort of. So this is Nebula
that is
Nebula
not
Nectar.
a Cockney accent
No,
at
it's
all.
not. I can't do accents.
Hello.
This is a Nebula Nectar glazed quail. Expertly glazed with a Nebula Nectar, served atop a bed of sautéed astral root vegetables. This is the accent that he has, okay? Deal with it.
It's perfect.
We love it.
Yeah,
We love
it
all the
totally
voices.
What they
Perfect.
just solidify into.
This dish dances between savory and sweet, leaving a celestial aftertaste that lingers on the palate. Enjoy. Steps back.
What does celestial taste like? Go ahead. It's biting. I can say
Amanda's not here, so I can't say. I would, but I can't. It would not be right. Okay.
Save that for next week.
Yeah. If
Save that for next
if
week.
she's watching this, I held back.
You see Cressida looks over at you, Kai, and she says, I'm quite impressed with your ability to navigate around a plate. Where did you learn your etiquette from?
My grandmother made sure I would be in correct company if I was ever invited to a dinner such as this.
So a noble house? Or
Adjacent.
merchant? Or artisan of some kind?
Mainly not much different from what I'm doing now.
Mercenary? Hired hand? Huh. Interesting. It is a good skill to have. You can make a deception check. Ooh, Jesus.
17.
Nice.
There you go. Versus a 42. I like the idea that you and me are like throwing like bits and pieces at each other, like. While Kai's like super proper, like in his chair, we're all like slapped, you know.
I have a piece of whatever that is, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Eldon, open now.
Ah, fuck. It's in my eye. It burns. The vinaigrette. It burns.
Like, oh shit.
Blue cheese.
She just, she smiles, nods. The rest of you are doing well. Quite well.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, I
Except
would
you
expect
got
that
like
you.
a roll on your tail.
Look, when you have an extra appendage,
Yeah, you're like eating, and then the roll comes over and like dips in.
you gotta use it.
How's Iolite doing with her etiquette? Better than us?
I mean, the
Probably-
assembly, right?
probably
She
not.
went to a boarding school. They would at least do the half measure where
Actually, roll.
she keeps the elbows off the tables.
While we're like,
We're just grubbing it up.
Yeah, Iolite. Let me see what her performance looks like. Even with a
It
with
does-
a negative in performance,
It does seem like Iolite would like know, even if she'd know the textbook stuff. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that what she should know. It just seems like very very Iolite.
Yeah, you see her navigating not with like absolute confidence and precision, like somebody who's been doing it their whole lives, but she's
She read
using
about it-
all
she
the
read
right
about it in
things.
a book somewhere.
Yeah, somebody probably taught her how to do this. So the second course, I mean, there's more conversation. Valaria just will not let it go. She just keeps on hounding her father to join you or something. The second course, Valario, again, just kind of broaches the subject. I appreciate you hearing me out, and I really am so sorry that I bring it up. I really feel strongly about obtaining your help clearing out the lake, and I do agree that time is of the essence, which is why I think you're here already, and so clearing the lake would be an effective use of your time before you head to look for the source of this contamination. And again, if locating your cheese cat is one of your priorities, it seems like it would make sense that you would want to clear out all of the potentials. Is there anything I can do to convince you to do it?
As he's wiping his mouth with like cash.
Gold, just gold leaf is just like leaving little bits on his mouth. And I could join you, says Valaria. It would be a great, like, first try at fighting. Right?
We were given orders by Commander Stoneforge of Mosswick.
Yes, he will chew our asses if we do not get this going soon.
orders direct from the Valiant. Well, I mean, he wouldn't know how long it's taking you to...
We cannot break our word.
Understood.
And we promised the next thing we would do was the rift. We cannot break our word.
Ixnay on the if day.
He doesn't react to you saying that. He just nods. All right. Okay. I understand. Please, how is the... Whatever he said it was. It's very delicious. Hopefully it's up to your standards.
It
Far, far beyond.
Delicious, thank you.
Cressida mentioned, I have not been back home in a very long time, that you are hailing from Divenia. I sincerely apologize that I did not pick up on it sooner. I should have offered you guest rights the moment that you entered the door.
That's okay.
It's a long way from Divenia.
It is, but it was only respectful to do so. So, I apologize again.
No apologies necessary. We appreciate
Your
that.
family comes from Tania.
We are from Medea. My father is a businessman of sorts. Oh, I wouldn't say of sorts. Well, it's a little inside joke just for myself. I would say of sorts because the man does absolutely nothing, and his business is ordering people around who actually know what they're doing. But, yes. This is my home away from home, where I have been for a very long time, and would like to keep it that way. We have all of our stuff done through Silas and his new contraptions, and Silas is like, I'm sorry. Yes, it's balancing out just fine. He's eating and like reading whatever is being written on the stuff. He loves his work. Kyred and comes around again, and then your third course is laid out. In my accent again. Here we have the Eclipsed Ambrosia Pudding. Heavenly dessert featuring eclipsed ambrosia, a rare fruit from the celestial plains. Transformed into a velvety pudding. Your face.
It's right in the
Garnished.
gutter. It's right in the gutter.
Garnished
With what I said,
with a
yeah,
stardust
right.
infused berries, each spoonful a taste of divine indulgence.
I'm just gonna
Enjoy.
pull this because my mind's gonna go right in the gutter and just do this.
He lays it out and then steps back. And Valario takes like one spoonful and is like, Corwin, you have outdone yourself this time. Very delicately though, is eating.
is it like that sweet? Like it's like a, ooh.
Yes, you can only take a little bit.
Constitution save if you take a spoonful.
Yeah. To not make a face, it's like,
Yeah, when it's like so
Diabetes.
sweet, turning into sour.
Roll for diabetes.
Roll for diabetes. Roll for diabetes. Yeah.
6 points of diabetes.
So, you kind of like finish up your meal here, and Valaria is like, well, I mean, if I can't convince you to let me go with you, then I guess I get it. You're like no different than my father, all of you, and I
Stings.
you know, that's all I have to say.
Even if we were in agreement to let you come, do you honestly believe that you would be allowed to go by your father?
She looks like across the table at him. He's just like looking at her. Yes. I do. But you know what? It's fine. She stands up, puts her napkin down. You enjoy. And she walks out, and he's like, not really trying. Oh, no.
Perhaps you start her with some archery lessons. That might appease her.
See, like,
Perhaps.
pushes his bow back.
Well, I'm sorry that I could not convince you to help with clearing out the lake just yet, but I have confidence that I will be able to do so.
It is not off the table. It is just not something you're able to do at this moment.
Understood. You see, he reaches over and like waves as Kyrad comes and he clears out everything. And then Cressida stands up and she says, well, the meal is completed. She reaches over the table, and in the center there's this like beautiful centerpiece item, and she just like presses on a little crystal in this like really pretty, almost like a flower centerpiece that's made of like porcelain. And when she does, there is that buzzing that you all had felt because you didn't feel it before suddenly goes away. And in that moment, Velario is like, I really wish I could have convinced you to help me with words alone, but I think given a little bit of time, you'll come around. And as he says that, Kai and Iolite and Ayla and Eldon, you all feel a little woozy, and you start to like move to like do something, but you can't really move. You can't really do anything. And Kethra, you're looking around at your companions as they're like, and you all have your heads hit the table.
Right in the pudding.
What the fuck just happened? That's what you hear, Catherine. What the fuck just happened? What the fuck?
And Cressida looks at you. She is going to say, I think you should just come with us. I need you to make...
Wait, didn't we roll better than her?
No.
No, I thought we did.
Kethra
I rolled
rolled
a
a
nat one, so
17.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
I'm still alive. They OD'd me.
You know what? I actually need to just quickly check. I thought I had memorized what the DC was on this. Yes, I did. I need you to make... Oh, sorry, 1 second. I should have been prepared with this, but there's so much going on. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, thank God, because that's a
I
good
guess
one.
that's a good one for you.
17.
Okay. You feel you feel her words of like, I think you should come with us, get very, like, it kind of like worms its way through, but you're able to kind of push it back. And she just kind of smiles. She has stepped back from the table a little bit when she did that. And just tilts her head a little bit. And Velario, who's sitting there, just looks at you and says, I think you should come with us.
Why?
We're going to have a chat.
What about? Why can't we have it here?
We'll be asking the questions from now on. And you see the others come in, and the orc just kind of... You can try if you'd like to fight the orc.
Use the salad fork.
But the first thing she would honestly do is she would just like primal savagery and just go to start
There's
swiping
no-
at him.
Oh,
She would
okay.
try. She would try. She knows she probably wouldn't, but
Okay.
she would still try.
So is it an anti-magic?
It's an anti-magic field. Is primal savagery magic or just
It
your...
is.
Yeah. So you go to try,
And nothing happens.
and
Yeah.
nothing happens. With between the four of them, it's kind of up to you. As you sit there looking at them all, you can see that it's 4 against 1, and the direwolf is sitting there.
This just turned into Get Out.
And you'll just see Kethra get up, and as she gets up, put her hands on her knees and look them right in the face and go, this better be fucking worth it. And as she walks by the wolf, she goes, I'm watching you.
And that is where we are going to leave off
This sleep better constitute a long
this
rest.
session.
I don't get no sleep. I'm getting fucked up.
This is happening.